Gotta love those great comic book covers. Figure let's do a marathon of the first 8 episodes of great comic book covers. It's geeking time. Such great artwork. Such a cool story. Damn. Welcome back, guys. Today I have a really fun marathon planned for you guys. So I brought back great comic book covers after a 3-year-long hiatus. I came back with the 35th anniversary of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. It was supposed to be a special one-off celebrating comic book covers based on Turtles. And then Free Comic Book Day came along, and I did great comic book covers for Free Comic Book Day. Well, now Great Comic Book Covers is back in full swing, and I got a new episode coming in June. It's going to be a Conan one, and from then on, we're going to do some really fun Great Comic Book Covers issues. So I thought it'd be a lot of fun today on this Saturday, just have a nice marathon of the first 8 episodes of great comic book covers. That being said, guys, sit back, relax, grab yourself a snack, grab yourself a drink, grab your favorite comic books. Guys, let's get into the marathon. Here we go. The first 8 episodes, great comic book covers. Comic book fans out there? Of course you guys are comic book fans. I do that stuff on my channel all the time. I'm starting a new series that I like to call Great Comic Book Covers. Welcome back. So, as I stated earlier in the intro, this is a new series I'd like to do. Depending on how well this video does, I'll make some more. I'll probably make, 1 or 2 or 3 episodes. And depending on how well those do, then I'll make more. But we'll make 2 or 3 to start off with. So as I said, this is called Great Comic Book Covers. In this first episode, I'm going to tackle 5 different comic book covers. I want you guys to let me know in the comments below what you think of the comic book covers that I've selected for the first episode. I'm not saying these are the 5 best comic book covers I've ever come across. No, I'm saying that these are 5 great comic book covers. So, with that being said, let's start. Now I will have you know these are in no specific order. These are just great comic book covers. So the first great comic book cover that I've selected for the first episode is Fathom issue number 8. This is a cover by Michael Turner. I think it's so beautiful. With Aspen Matthews' face turned with a tear coming down. He's done a lot of great covers and a lot of great comics. But as I was going through my Fathom comics, this one really caught my eye, and I think this is such a beautiful cover. So that's Fathom number 8, and this was back when Fathom was with the Image and Top Cow. So that's the first one. So for the second one, again, no specific order. This is one that I remember seeing when I was a kid, and I was always been a fan of Star Wars, and when I heard about this when I was a kid, I always wanted to get my hands on this, but my parents never came across it, and I never got it until I was older. A couple of years ago I found it. This is created by Mark Hamill for Dark Horse Comics back in the 90s. This is the Black Pearl number 1. I don't know, I've always liked this issue, this comic book cover. There's the Black Pearl right there, front and center, with a bloodied hand at the bottom. I've always remembered this logo, and I've always remembered this cover specifically. The reason why I'm putting it on the first episode of Great Covers is because, like I said, it's always stuck with me, this comic book cover. The moment I found it as an adult, I grabbed it without hesitation and I bought it. So this is definitely a beautiful cover. This one's going to be a little darker. The next 3 actually are pretty dark. So this one here is going to be from Lady Death. This is part 3 of Heaven and Hell. I love this cover. I mean, there's a lot of original Lady Death covers from Chaos Comics by Brian Pulido that are so nice. These covers from the original miniseries were just so nice. Purgatory has Lady Death stringed up like a puppet. I don't know, I just always thought that this would be a cool poster, or maybe even like something cool to put on a t-shirt. So yeah, and every time I think of Lady Death, I automatically think of Cradle of Filth playing music for Lady of Death. That's, I don't know, automatically goes there. But yeah, definitely, this is such a beautiful cover. I'm gonna give you a little hint, a little spoiler. This next comic is on my t-shirt. So that being said, it is The Amazing Spider-Man number 346, Eric Larson cover. I love Venom's teeth protruding with all the saliva coming down with his tongue, and the two reflections of Spider-Man. You know that he's trapped. You know, Venom's coming after him, and it's a 50th anniversary for Captain America as well, which is cool. Definitely have always loved this cover. That's why when I found this t-shirt, I bought it because of the cover. So, plus I'm a big Spider-Man fan. But not just that, I think that Eric Larson, this is probably, to me, Eric Larson's finest cover on Spider-Man. So to finish this all off, again, these are in no particular order. It just so happens that this is the last one because I pulled them up randomly. The last one we have is issue number 95 of Spawn. It is one of the most famous and iconic covers ever. And it's very simple, very basic, but very beautiful. It's a great Capullo cover. This, I think, was like the cover for the Dreamcast video game, and there was posters made of this in the 90s, so this is absolutely, hands down, also one of the most amazing Spawn covers ever. As the show goes on, I might get into some Todd McFarlane covers, but anyways, for this first episode, Spawn issue number 95.
I pledge everything I own, everything I have left, my heart included. I want my humanity back.
So, what did you think of my selections? This is the first episode. Like I said, I'm going to try and do 2 to 3 episodes, and if they do well, going from there, we'll continue on. I know I've got a lot of people who love comic books that are subscribed to my channel and want to see more comic book content. So since I can't always make it out to the store to buy comics, this would be a cool series, I think, for all you comic book fans. Let me know in the comment section below, like I said, what you thought about my selections for the first episode. I'll come back with another episode like this. I got 5 more comics. Ready for episode number 2? Welcome back! So, first episode came and went. Told you guys I was going to do a couple of these. I had a lot of fun doing the first one, and I'm really excited about this. This week's episode, we're going to do something a little bit different. I've selected retro Image Comics covers from the early to mid 90s. I was going through my comics, and I was like, what would make for a great episode 2? More randoms. And I was seeing a whole bunch of old Image stuff because I love that company. So I figured, why not for episode 2? Retro 90s Image covers. As always, these comic books are not in any particular order. So for the first one I selected, I'm not exactly certain what exact year this was. I know it was the early 90s and it was not one of the launch titles. But for the first one I selected, we have Pit, number 1. Now, I know a lot of you guys think these 90s Image Comics covers are kind of cheesy. Yes, a lot of 90s comics were cheesy. Same thing for 80s, but I thought they were so cool. But this one, I really like this one a lot. With Pit's teeth and his red eyes, the hair going over him. I like covers that are, you know, the face of the character. I think those are really cool. And I love the fact that Pit is written in blood spatter. And they even gave him his own Image comic logo right there. First rip in issue, but this is a really nice cover. Again, if you take all the writing off, this is something you can have as a t-shirt. It's really nice. So Pit, issue number 1. The next one I selected, oh man, I find this is such an underrated series. The Maxx, number 2. I like the simple, plain white background. I love how the Maxx is written in almost like a brownish gold font. I love the Maxx right there, and then the jungle girl, I forget her name. I don't even know. I honestly didn't read that much of the Maxx. I have like the first 2 or 3 issues, but I got them to collect because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know too much about the Maxx, right? But the Maxx, the covers are what attracted me. But yeah, it's really nice, and especially the cheat at the bottom is really well done. It was a short-lived series on MTV, which I tried to watch when I was a kid, but you know. But yeah, second one is issue number 2 of the Max. Well, not your traditional type of comic book cover, but you'll see what I mean how beautiful this cover is. We have Shadowhawk 2, number 1. Look at that beautiful cover. The background is completely embossed. Okay, if you can see that properly. Even his body is embossed. Everything is embossed. Hell, the Image Comics logo, is it there? Yeah, at the bottom here it's embossed. Okay? And then and Shadowhawk himself is all in like a silver mirror. This is such a beautiful cover. This is one of the covers that I would love to get graded by CGC, PGX, one of those companies. It's one of those like wall-worthy books, and I'll just try to move it around so you guys can see what I'm talking about with the mirror effect. But yeah, nonetheless, an amazing cover, and if you can grab this for your collection, if you're able to find it, I would highly suggest grabbing this for your collection. I'm going to give you another hint like I did last time. This is on my t-shirt. It's not this, but it is Kiss. We've got Kiss Psycho Circus, number 7. I don't know what it is with this cover. I like the split paneling. If I'm not mistaken, that is I forget his name is forgetting me in the back. The Elder, I think it is. And you got Jean, Paul, Peter, and Ace, or as they're known in the comic book, the Demon, the Star Child, the Beastmaster, and the oh my god, not the Spaceman, but the Sentient Being or something like that.
Is there something wrong, Demon?
I'm not sure.
Your fire signs worry too much.
I always thought this was such a beautiful cover, and every time I search, phone wallpapers for Kiss in comic form, this one always pops up. I have this on display actually right now in my living room. So all in all, this is an extremely beautiful cover, and I love having this in my collection. And the final one is another, I guess, gimmicky type cover. Vanessa is always wanting to steal this one from me, but I'm like, one day I'll buy her own copy. We have Wildcats number 2. Look how cool that cover is, okay? I love that almost every single character is on the cover right now. I think the only person that's missing, to take a better look, but yeah, it seems like Grifter is not on the cover. Everyone else is here, but I like this background. This is so cool. That's literally the background makes this a great comic book cover. Like, you don't see comics like this nowadays, I don't find, at least. The death metal comics have really nice covers to them. But yeah, I mean, this is insane. This is really insane right here. So yeah, Wildcats number 2. Out of these 5 comics, which one is your favorite? Honestly, I love them all, but I keep getting attracted to the Pit. It's so fucking heavy metal, and it's amazing, this cover. I digress. Okay, I am doing a giveaway on my Instagram. I don't know if it's over by the time of this upload of this video. It shouldn't be. But if you want to go check out my Instagram, Boomer the Nerd, I'm doing a giveaway. Go check that out. For my next episode, guys, I want your help. Let me know in the comments below, if you want to, what I should do next. I was thinking of Marvel Comics covers, I was thinking of DC, I was thinking of Dark Horse, And then I thought to myself, well, I am a huge fan of Greg Capullo, and I'm a huge fan of Michael Turner. What do you guys want to see next video? Greg Capullo covers, or Michael Turner covers? Sound off below. Whoever I see more commenting on, I will choose that for episode 3 of Great Comic Book Covers. This is such a blast to do. I love doing this. I know that there's a lot of comic book channels on YouTube, but I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun doing this for you guys, and I want to keep going with this concept. So let me know below what you guys thought again of the comics I selected for this episode, and which one I should do. I'll put it up again, Capullo or Michael Turner. You guys know I love Spawn, and it's been a while since I've done a great comic book covers episode. I figured I'm going to be doing some Spawn content on my channel, so why not start with episode 3 of Great Comic Book Covers, Spawn. Let's get into it.
You cut a deal for your soul.
Now, if you've watched the first 2 episodes, you know how the format works. These are in no particular order. They're random. They're just great comics. I'm not saying that these are the best Spawn comic covers, because I would be here for hours and hours and hours talking about almost every single McFarlane and Capullo cover. And there's about a little over 200 of them, so no, these are just great covers. Now, there's so many Spawn covers to choose from. I had a hard time even just choosing 8 for this list. So this is going to be the first part. This is not going to be the only episode featuring just Spawn covers. So for the first issue that I've chosen, this is Spawn issue number 21. This is a Todd McFarlane cover that was released in 1994. It's simple. It's very simple. It's just Spawn on the cover. You could probably see him very faintly in the border of my video here. I don't know, this cover is so nice. I've always really liked this one. For the longest time, I'd searched for this cover. I never could find it. It was always like over 20 bucks, and I was finally gifted it, so I didn't have to go out and pick it up. But yeah, no, it's definitely a very beautiful cover with the white background. Like I said, just Spawn right there, framed and bordered. Yeah, it's really nice. The next cover is from Spawn, number 95. This is a Capullo cover, and the inks are by McFarlane. You might recognize this as the cover for the Dreamcast game Spawn in the Demon's Hand. This is a beautiful cover. This is one of the covers that I remember the most growing up. It's just the black background with the flames, Spawn front and center. I don't know, it really catches your eye every time you look at it. So that's what makes this a great cover. The next one, I'm thinking outside a little bit of the box, because I don't want to put all just covers with Spawn front and center. So this is issue number 72. And on this cover, we have Spawn very small on the bottom, and then we have Cagliostro on the top. I don't know what to say about this cover. It's just, there's 2 characters on here. A lot of the times, 2 characters on one cover doesn't fit very well. But on this cover, it's nice. It's really nice. Yes, they could have taken Spawn off and just put an all black background with Cagliostro. But I don't know, it's really, really cool looking how they designed it. So yeah, it definitely had to be on this list. Fall is here. This cover's great. They even made a toy of it. This is Spawn issue number 88. And this is a Halloween themed cover. You got the pumpkin, you got the cat. Like, it's very spooky looking, very Halloween centric. It's just a really great cover, especially if you want to put out some decorations for Halloween. You don't have very many, but you got some Spawn comics. You could definitely put this out at Halloween. So yeah, it's a really spooky cover, and I really, really like this one a lot. So once again, we're going outside the box with this cover. This is issue number 83. This is just Jason Wynn on the cover. Black background, him grimacing, an evil grimace with the smoke coming out of his cigar. It's a beautiful cover. Who would have thought that putting a villain on the cover, front and center, just like that, for your monthly comic, would be nice. Oh, yes, a lot of them do it, but this kind of villain, this is a beautiful fucking cover, and they made the right call putting Jason Wynn right there. I have to show love to these characters because they are fantastic characters. I find they're super underrated. Not enough people give them love. This is Spawn issue number 108. Spawn is in the background, and you've got Sam and Twitch right here on the cover. The dead body on the ground. I love Sam and Twitch. To me, they're probably the best detectives in any kind of fiction. This is just my opinion. I really love Sam and Twitch. I wish Kevin Smith actually did put out that show about Sam and Twitch, or at least they did put a Sam and Twitch TV show out and have Spawn as a secondary character. That'd be so freaking cool. But you know how it is with Todd McFarlane. He always talks, and never puts his products out. That's the problem. But I digress. It's an awesome cover, and Sam and Twitch to me are forever going to be the coolest detectives. Okay, I'm cheating here because I had to put this on the list because this is the first Spawn comic I ever got from my parents as a kid. The moment I got this comic again as an adult, I was over the moon. So this is Spawn issue number 63. Spawn becomes a human in this episode, or at least takes human form. I don't know, it's just a really fucking cool cover. I really love it. It's probably my favorite Spawn cover of all time. Likely because it was the first comic I ever got. But yeah, no, I mean, him toting his guns with the worms in the forefront. I just always loved this cover, and for me, this definitely is always going to be on a list of the greatest Spawn covers. And the last one I have today, it's the 100th issue of Spawn, and it's a variant. I just acquired it not too long ago. I've been searching through hell for this comic book, and thankfully Omnibus, shout out to them, had the issue and I was able to grab it from them. This is the Alex Ross variant of issue number 100. A while ago, I sent my friend Jay in Vancouver, Unboxing Rocks, issue number 100, the Capullo variant, because that's his favorite artist. I've always wanted this cover, so I'm really, I think this is such a beautiful one. Spawn holding Cyan in his arms. I don't know, it's just, there's something human about this cover. This cover makes you, like, feel the emotions that are going here, and it's everything, the painting, all the colors chosen in here, just the way it's done. The fact that it looks kind of like the movie Spawn merged with the comic book Spawn, it's just an all-around amazing cover, and I think this is what makes one of the greatest Spawn covers ever as well. Well, there you have it. Those are my comic book cover selections for this episode, Spawn. Like I said, I'm going to be doing more episodes of Spawn because I can't just do one episode. There's too many fucking covers to choose. Let me know down below which covers you guys thought was the best out of all this. Let me know what some of your favorite covers are. I'm always interested in knowing. I'm going to come back with another episode of Great Comic Book Covers very shortly. In the meantime, stay tuned. When Frank Castle loses his family, he becomes a vigilante known as the Punisher to punish those who do wrong. I'm back with Great Comic Book Covers, guys. Welcome back to another long-awaited edition of Great Comic Book Covers. Hey, the last two episodes I did some themes. I know the first episode ever was just a bunch of random comics, but then I did the Image Comics one, I did Spawn after that, and you know what, I've had a lot of friends, a lot of viewers of the channel who have been enjoying seeing me do the Great Comic Book Covers, and they've been asking me, a lot of people, actually a lot of my friends, even Vanessa, have been asking me, when are you going to put out another episode? Well guys, it's been a long ass winter, spring is finally here, I figured I'd spring this on you guys, pun intended. I'm back with another episode of Great Comic Book Covers. Today, we're focusing on the vigilante, Frank Castle, the Punisher. I chose eight comic book covers of the Punisher. These are all, like usual, not in any specific order. And one of them is not from a Punisher comic book, but I just loved the cover. I was like, I gotta include it. So I got 8 of them. Let's get right into the comic book covers. Something that comes to mind with a lot of people when it comes to the Punisher is the series War Journal and Warzone. More on War Journal later, but first cover I have here, and this is a gimmick cover. It's not the best, but I don't know why I've always liked this cover. We've got the Punisher Warzone #1. I don't know, I just love the intensity in Frank's face, the shooting, all the bullets flying around. When you take this out, I'm not going to take it out, but when you take this out and you open, it's the Punisher skull logo, which is really awesome. So here we got the Punisher Warzone #1. So as I said earlier, you're going to notice a theme here. A lot of these are from the, I guess, late 80s and early 90s. I'm not 100% certain. But the next one we have is the Punisher #47. What catches my eye about this cover, it's the colors. I like the colors. Everything is in red. And I don't know, it's just really nice. And I like the way that they did the cover. And then the Punisher logo up here in green. I just thought it was really neat. A lot of these covers, you know, they have the writing on it, so whatever. But no, I just thought that was really cool. I really like this cover. This next one, I will say, despite what's going on in the world, and my heart goes out to everyone, I chose this next cover because of the artwork of Frank Castle on it. So, that being said, the next one is, this is issue number 64, but this is the Punisher Euro Hit. This is #1 of 7. Honestly, I like the background, like all the flags in the background, and I love the way that they did Frank on the cover. Standing there somber with the shotgun. It's really cool, and it just, yeah, like I said, I chose this cover specifically because of the way that they did Frank on the cover. So there you go, there's the Punisher #64. Now, I can't have a great comic book cover featuring the Punisher and not feature one of his greatest villains and nemesis. So next I have the Punisher Final Days. This is issue number 55. And we have a picture straight up right there of Jigsaw. And then Frank Castle right in the blade. This actually reminds me of the Wolverine cover with the Hulk in his blades. So that's what I really like about this. I don't know if that's supposed to be homaging that, but this is just a really cool cover. There's so many like intricate lines on Jigsaw's face, and he looks super evil and super scary on this cover. This is the epitome of what a villain on a comic book cover should look like. It's the same as when as the Spawn issue with Jason Wynn on the cover. But yeah, there we go. Number 55, The Punisher. This one here is super cool because not only does it have the Punisher on it, and I would say it's also an earlier Punisher comic too. I don't know if it's this is the second volume or the first volume, but we have the Punisher issue number 29, and what's really cool about this, check this out. Yeah, you got the Punisher on the cover, but look, you've got Thor, you've got Captain America, you have a bunch of other Marvel characters, which is super cool. How neat is this cover? Like I said, I believe this is one of the earlier Punisher ones. I think it's from the second volume. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, this is such a cool cover. Just like I said, all like with the Marvel characters. Just to go show you that even though he is a vigilante, he's still very much in the Marvel universe. We've made it halfway through. So earlier I said, when it comes to mind, usually when you think the Punisher and you think series of the Punisher, you know, you think Warzone and War Journal. Now, this is not in any way the most key collected issue. I don't think it is at all. I just really like this cover of the Punisher War Journal. And actually, I think this is what caught the inspiration for one of the posters for the Punisher Warzone, the movie with Ray Stevenson. So we got the Punisher War Journal number 8. Really love this cover. I'm not sure who Damage is, but it says Introducing Damage, but whatever. I love this cover. Just Frank standing on the building, the top of the building. rifle in hand. The background too with the buildings, and I love the purple sky. This is such a nice cover. Like, you know me, I'm not one who's always gonna be like I'm going after the expensive covers. I love the nice looking covers, and I find this right here, this is one of the cream of the crop when it comes to the Punisher covers. This one is super cool. Just super cool. I just gonna show it right away. Wanted Dead or Alive. This is number 57 of the Punisher. Look how cool that is. Look at that cover. There's so much detail in his face. Like you could see the anger in his face. I love it. And I just love that it's one tone. Black and sepia. Perfect. This is an awesome looking cover. Yeah. Punisher right there. This is a great cover because it's by Eric Larson. It's a very famous cover. And it also reminds me of Rocky. I'm a huge fan of the Rocky series. So we have The Punisher number 21. The famous cover of The Punisher, Frank Castle, in a boxing match. Love it. Just not much that I can say about it. Like I said, it reminds me a lot of Rocky Balboa. That's one of the reasons why I love this cover so much. Fantastic cover. Fantastic to have in anyone's collection. It's just amazing. Well, my friends, we've come to the last issue for today's episode. This is not from The Punisher itself. This here is The Incredible Hulk, number 395. I know, sorry, 395. I know, you guys are thinking to yourself, this is the Punisher's episode. Well, this is technically a Punisher cover. So we have The Incredible Hulk, 395. This is from the 30th anniversary. This is from 1992. Look at that. When I saw this cover, I fell in love with it right away. This is a cover that I would actually love at some point to frame and display. I love that you have the Hulk wearing sunglasses, and in the sunglasses is a reflection of Frank Castle. How cool is this, guys? Come on, I know it's not the Punisher, but still, this is an awesome cover, and this to me, despite being the Incredible Hulk, literally shows off everything that the Punisher is. It's perfect.
Ready, aim, punish. The Punisher for Nintendo. Explosive arcade action. State-of-the-art weaponry. Got the guts? The Punisher for Nintendo from LJN. Everything's a target. Even you.
That's it for another episode of Great Comic Book Covers. Fear not, have no fret, no worries. I will be doing some more free great comic book covers. I have a lot of comic books that I've been going through. I was like, that would make for a good episode. I was even looking at some random comics. I was like, that would be really good to show off. So yes, guys, don't worry. I'm going to make a lot more episodes this year. Let me know down below in the comments which cover was your favorite from this whole episode. Let me know if you guys are a fan of the Punisher. If you guys are reading Punisher comics, what comics you're collecting. I always want to hear from you guys when it comes to comic books. Let me know what you guys want to see when it comes to great comic book covers. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I'm trying something a little bit different this episode. My beautiful fiance lent me some of her comic books to show off. So today's episode, we're going to get into Vanessa's comics. Welcome back to another episode of Great Comic Book Covers, the show where I show you comic book covers that might not necessarily be great, but I just think that the artwork on the covers are cool. So that's the whole premise of this show. Today, like I said in the intro, I'm doing something a little bit different. The love of my life, the woman that I spend all my time with, she has comic books too. And so today, she lent me some of her comic books. She lent me 8 comic books. I'm holding a cup of coffee in my hand because that's her favorite beverage. So this is a little ode to her. But she lent me 8 comic books, and one by one, like I always do, in no particular order, we're going to go through all 8 great comic book covers. So let's get straight to it. That's out of the way. So the first one we have is Just Imagine Stan Lee's Wonder Woman. What I like about this cover here, I like the fact, well, I mean, it's Stan Lee's own version of Wonder Woman. I believe it's Jim Lee who did the sketch. I'm throwing this away. I'm hiding for you. But yes, it's Jim Lee that did the sketch of Wonder Woman. I believe this was before he started. Well, it's before he started working on Justice League. So, anyways. But yeah, no, I think it's really cool. I like how they made Wonder Woman look, the golden lasso, and just the background artwork is really cool too. So no, I think this one really stands out. There's a lot of just Imagine Stan Lee issues, but I find this is one of the nicer ones. So yeah, there you go. I am in no way a fan of this character. Actually, if you look at my free comic book day, I think the first one that I did, I made it clear that I don't like this character. However, she likes this character, and she did like this series. However, one of these issues really stood out to me. So we've got Jessica Jones, #2. What I really like about this cover is the way that it's just painted. The silhouette of Jessica Jones just painted with all the colors. Even the background. I think this is such a nice, beautiful, actually it's beautiful, standout cover. So, yeah, no, when I saw this, I was like, ooh, that catches my eye right away. So, definitely a great comic book cover for sure. Before I get to the next issue, just so you know, the hat I'm wearing today is a Wonder Woman hat, and that's, again, in honor of Vanessa. While it is kind of Wonder Woman themed if you think about it, this is a cool old comic from the 80s. This is done by George Perez. This is War of the Gods, #1. I just think it's a really cool cover with all the DC characters. And what really I think is cool is Wonder Woman right there. Just all decked out in that armor. It's so cool. And of course, Dr. Fate. Love Dr. Fate. Awesome character. And of course, the great artwork of George Perez. And oh, George Perez. Oh, man. Anyways, love this cover. This next one is a character, oh man, we both love so much. This character is so bonkers. I think maybe if you go into my previous videos, you'll see how much I talk about her and how much I have love for this character. So next we have is Gwenpool, the unbelievable Gwenpool, #1. This cover is crazy. There's a lot going on, especially some sort of T-Rex flying in the background. And Gwenpool, is this on BMX? Yeah, she's on a motorbike. It's just a really crazy, bonkers cover for a crazy, bonkers character. So, yeah, I definitely had to put this one in the list of the great comic book covers. Also because, like I said, I love Gwenpool. We have so many Gwenpool issues, and it was hard to choose one. But ultimately, I settled with this. You know what? Let me guys know. Would you like to see a Gwenpool great comic book cover episode? That could be done. Halfway through the pile. This next one is, I chose it for the simplicity of it, which makes it to me a great comic book cover. So next we have Wonder Woman, #100. Like I said, it's the simplicity. I like the way that Fall of an Amazon is written. You got the big logo of Wonder Woman up there, and then the nice little silhouette of Wonder Woman down there. All in all, it's a beautiful cover. Even if you don't get it framed, you just put it on display, put it on a top loader, or just display it on the wall. It's a really nice piece to display. Like, if you look behind me, like, I can simulate. Yeah, if you see behind me and you look at it, it's hanging up. Yeah, you see, that would look really nice hung up on the wall. It's a beautiful cover, and that's the reason why I chose it. 3 left. This one is an old one from the 70s, and I don't even think it's a key issue. But when she saw this one, she was like, I need this issue in my collection. So I was like, yeah, of course, why not? We have Jungle Action, #8, featuring the Black Panther. And this, oh, okay, now I know what the significance. It's the origin of Black Panther in this issue. But I don't know, I just thought it was a really cool cover because of how old it is. I mean, it's not the best looking cover, but think about it, like, a lot of covers back in the day, like a lot of covers nowadays, yes, they're meant to be nice, they're meant for that. But I find this one, like the old covers are just so nice. You can't match that anymore, I find. I mean, I love the old school covers, and the talent that they had paved the way for a lot of the artists today. So, again, just that Black Panther right there leaping. I know it says 49 cents all over the book, and there's a little bit of a scratch up there, but hey, whatever. It's still a pretty cool cover, and yeah, I like this a lot. Power Rangers, that is something we both love. Which brings me to this cover here. We have Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Pink #1 of 6 from Boom Studios. Before I show the cover, there is 6 covers in the set. We had 2 that we were choosing from, and ultimately we went with this one here. I think number 4 was the other one we were thinking about, but ultimately number 1, this one here, is the nicest one we have in the collection. It's just nice. It's a painting of the Pink Ranger with the Pterodactyl Zord in the background. It's just a really beautiful cover. And again, it looks like a painting. It's something that you can display and have somebody look at it and be like, oh, that's really nice. Even if you take away, like even if this was a Virgin cover, if this was a Virgin cover, that would make it even nicer. So think about that. But yeah, I had to include Power Rangers. And this is definitely a beautiful cover. Oh, how this comic book itself was mass sold when it came out, and everybody flocked to the newsstand to buy it with reason, because it's a great comic book. And there are 4 covers in this one. Vanessa only has 1. I think I have 3 of them. I'm just missing 1. But however, this one is such a beautiful cover that I'm like, you know what? Yeah. We've got the Jim Lee X-Men #1, and this is the cover featuring Professor X, Jean Grey, Beast, and Storm. I love this cover so much. This is a beautiful cover. I think of the 4 covers, Wolverine and Cyclops, then there's Psylocke and Colossus, and then there's the one with Magneto by himself. Honestly, I think this has got to be my favorite one because I love how Beast is posed, and Storm is my favorite superheroine. If you guys want to see more Storm book covers, next episode. But that being said, I just love this cover. And I was given a really great idea recently by Andres to, if I had all 4 of these, all 4 connecting covers, to put that in a frame and hang them up. So if I can find that Magneto cover, I'm definitely going to do that and hang all of them up. So this is the final cover for today, X-Men #1. Wonder Woman. Hey, that's it for today. Let me know which of these comic book covers from Vanessa's collection you guys like the most. Do you guys want to see some more of the comics in her collection? Okay, not right away, but maybe somewhere down the road we can do some more of her comics if she wants. If you guys are interested in that. Like I mentioned earlier, maybe we can do a Gwenpool great comic book cover episode. That would be fun to do as well. We got a lot of Gwenpool issues, and there's a lot of cool covers, a lot of other covers that pay homage. I don't want to keep you guys here very long. I need to take a sip of my coffee as I say that. But no, seriously, let me know down below which of these 8 covers you guys like the most, which you thought was the coolest. Let me know what kind of comic book covers you guys want to see. I can try and see if I have some in my collection. We can make that happen. I got some Spider-Mans in my collection. You know, I got a whole bunch of stuff. I got a lot more Image comics. I got some Valiant stuff. So let me know. I'm just throwing out some suggestions what you guys want to see. I'll be back again with another episode. Like I said, next episode will be Storm. So just putting that out there. I have something cool for you guys today. Aurora Monroe, Storm, one of the leaders of X-Men. Yeah, it's all about her. Welcome back to Great Comic Book Covers, the show where I show off not necessarily great comic book covers, but covers I think are really cool, and you guys might too. So isn't that the whole premise, great comic book covers? Well, okay. I tend to do some themes with these episodes. I know that the first episode was just like random comics, but after that it's been themes. I should do more episodes of just random comics. Today's episode, we have another theme. It's all about Storm from X-Men. Yes, I'm wearing the t-shirt. I'm wearing an X-Men hat. I'm ready to go. I have 8 comic books ready. Not all of X-Men, but they're just random. Some Black Panther as well. But they're all covers with Storm on them. I just want to give a quick little mention and say, as much as I'm a huge fan of Michael Turner, the two Fantastic Four covers that she's on, I didn't find that to me to be enough. She was very small in there. And there are some Storm issues that I don't have. So these are stuff that's in our collection. So with that being said, let's get right into the Storm comic book covers. Before I show off the first issue, 2 or 3 of these are mine. The rest are all Vanessa's. So very big thank you to Vanessa for lending me the Storm comics. She's a much bigger fan of Storm than I am. Alright. First issue comic book that I have here. This is just a variant of Black Panther number 16. I believe this came out in 2017 or 2018, but this was a tribute to Jim Lee using his artwork. So this is Black Panther number 16 with a nice, with Storm on the cover, I should say, sorry. This is based on, this is Jim Lee's artwork from his work when he used to work on X-Men back in the 90s. I know it's not an official cover, but still, I find it so beautiful. I love this artwork of Storm. And yes, of course, I had to include this in the cover set, you know? I thought this was really awesome, and Storm looks really badass on this cover. So this is really an amalgamation, which is what the name of the comic book company is, Amalgam. Sorry for my beard, it's doing some weird things, guys. I tried to comb it, but anyways. This is if you guys paid attention to some of my comic book hauls, this is Vanessa's comic, but still really cool. This is Amazon, and I think this is the one and only Amazon issue. But this is an amalgamation of Storm and Wonder Woman. I almost did not include it on the list because, like I said to Vanessa, I was like, you know, it's Storm and Wonder Woman mixed together. So I don't really think that it would be a good idea. And Vanessa pointed out something cool. She goes, it's still Storm, right? And I said, well, yeah, but Storm mixed with Wonder Woman. And then Vanessa said, it's still Storm. So ultimately, I agreed with her. My beautiful girl is always right. So yes, this is such a beautiful and awesome cover. It's also one that's so like rare and odd that I just had to include on the list. And I don't know, it's kind of cool seeing Storm dressed up as Wonder Woman, but still being able to control the elements. So yeah, definitely had to include this on the list. This is the naked cover, as Vanessa likes to call it. We've got Black Panther number 8. Wild Kingdom to a 4, but still. This is really neat. And no, I did not choose this because Storm is naked. I just chose it because I like the way that they, like, I love the art, the way that they did Storm on the cover. It's really nice. Really beautifully done. Again, on a Black Panther cover, it's really cool to see Storm on a lot of Black Panther covers. I know she's the former Queen of Wakanda, so obviously. But yeah, no, like, it almost looks like a painting itself. It's really cool. So yeah, I really like this cover. Did you know that Storm had her own few, like, miniseries comics? She had 3 of them. In the 90s, in the 2000s, and the 2010s. This one is from the 90s. Of the 4 issues in this series, I think Vanessa and I both agree that this one's the coolest one. It makes her look the most badass. This is Storm number 1 in her first ongoing series. I love that artwork. It's, if I'm not mistaken, it's it's Terry Dodson who does the artwork. The Dodson's artwork are always really awesome. That's another, maybe down the line, that's another episode we can do. But yeah, I know the Dodsons, yeah, I love the artwork on this. I love the detailing in her outfit. I love the face that they gave Storm. You could feel the anger in that face. But all around, I love the embossed gold writing of Storm. Just like all of it. I know it's a gimmick cover, it's foil, but it's still such a cool cover. This to me is what the 90s is all about. I just realized something. I chose the same issue twice, but this one's a variant issue. I guess it still counts. So we got Black Panther number 8 again. So here it is, but this, like I said, is a variant cover this time around. I didn't realize it was the same issue. But what's really, I love that Storm is in the forefront here, and that Black Panther is in the background watching over her. It's so cool. This is another one that if it was a virgin cover, would be so nice to have up on display. So sorry about having a duplicate of the same issue, but like I said, it's still a variant and it's still really nice. Alex Ross. Mwah! That guy is creme de la creme when it comes to art. This here, I believe, is from Giant Size X-Men. And this is Storm's issue from Giant Size X-Men. And there we go. It's just beautiful. And this is a Virgin one. Like I said, any Virgin cover that looks like a painting could definitely be nice on display. And I think Vanessa's goal is to put this onto display. So I think this is such a beautiful cover. Alex Ross did an amazing job with Storm. And yeah, this is we definitely got to get a frame for this, hang it up and display, because I probably think so far out of all of them, this is probably the most beautiful cover out of all of them that I showed you off so far. We got some more Black Panther. I mean, I'm not surprised. This time around, we have Black Panther number 17. Right here, we've got the King and Queen of Wakanda together. It's such a beautiful paint. Like, it looks like a painting again. It's a beautiful cover. I really enjoy this cover a lot. I don't know, there's not much to say about it. They're embracing each other, and it just looks really cool. I really like this cover. I keep saying it, and I'll keep saying it. One last cover, not two, one last cover. And I think this is probably my second favorite after the Alex Ross one. Right here we've got Classic X-Men number 3. And they did a lot of these covers in the 80s, I believe. Because I think it was a 25th anniversary of Marvel. So this one here is the Storm cover with the border of Marvel. Again, how beautiful is that? Is this... I'm not sure... I'm not quite sure who did the artwork. I'm having a brain fart, to be honest with you guys. Correct me. Tell me who it is. I have a brain fart right now. Usually I can tell who the artwork is by, but... Nonetheless, this is such a beautiful cover. When I found this issue at Amber's shop, I was like, okay, I'm grabbing this one because I love Storm. I need this for the collection. And it definitely stands out as its own... Like, I know it's Classic X-Men, but even if you take away the title and that and just keep the border with Storm, it stands out. It really does. It's an awesome cover. It's also a very iconic cover, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, definitely had to put this on the list, and great looking cover, like I said.
Storm, as unpredictable as the weather.
Okay, Storm, do your thing.
Watch the premiere of X-Men Saturday morning, October 31st on Fox.
That's it for today's episode. Big thank you, big shout out to Vanessa for lending me the majority of these Storm covers, because as much as she's my favorite superheroine, she's Vanessa's favorite superhero, so she has so many more Storm covers in her collection. So it was really hard to settle on 8. Like 3 of them were from my collection and all the rest were from her collection. So it was really difficult to settle on just 8 of them, but we did it. And yeah, no, big thank you to her for loaning those comics to me to show you guys. Let me know which Storm comic you guys thought was the coolest out of this whole episode. Again, let me know what episodes you guys want to see going forward. If you guys want to see more just like random comics or more themes, let me know if there's any characters you guys want to see, or companies, artists. Let me know. I can see if I have that in my collection. We can work something out, you know? I'll be back again with another episode. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. not gonna lie, I'm super excited for this episode of Great Comic Book Covers. Transformers and G.I. Joe. Let's get right into it. Welcome back to another episode of Great Comic Book Covers, the show where I show off comic book covers that are not necessarily great, but I really like them and I want to share with you guys. So, isn't that the whole premise? Great comic book covers? Oh, as I said in the intro, I'm super excited about this episode. It's another themed one. Today it's all about the Transformers and the G.I. Joe. I selected nine comics. There's a reason why. So, without further ado, let's start today's episode of Great Comic Book Covers. So I find IDW does a really good job with their Transformers comics. So the first one I have here, this is covered by Rito Guidi. This is IDW, the Transformers, issue number 9. Really awesome looking cover. We've got the Decepticons up here. I don't know, it's just really cool. When I was going through the comics and I saw this one, I was like, that's really neat. I don't know why I don't look at this one more often. But yeah, really awesome looking cover. Like I said, the Decepticons front and center. And then the war down there. The artwork is just so all around really nice on this one. It's again one of those things that if you remove it and make it a virgin cover, it would be so nice to stand out and put on display. So here's the first one for today. IDW's The Transformers, issue number 9. Oh, Devil's Due Publishing. However, this is a G.I. Joe cover. This is G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. Reloaded, number 7. How cool is that cover? Snake Eyes leaping up in the air, attacking, well, it looks like he's fighting Duke. I believe that's Duke, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong. Let me know down below if it is Duke or not. But it's such a cool cover. I don't know, it's just very minimal also. And any cover with me that has Snake Eyes on the cover, I mean, obviously, I'm a fan of, because Snake Eyes is just so cool. But I love that there's the, like I said, it's minimal. There's just one little strip in the background here, the G.I. Joe logo up there. And it's Devil's Due Publishing, and they did some pretty cool stuff. I mean, they used to do Hack Slash, so yeah, this cover is really awesome and really nice looking. Now, I'm not certain if this is considered a full-fledged issue, but the cover is just really nice. Back when Dreamwave did the Transformers comics, this is Transformers Preview. Featuring Transformers Armada. That show is awesome. I've been rewatching that. I'm enjoying the Unicron trilogy. But I really like the fact that Optimus Prime is on the cover, but it's not just that. The way that Optimus Prime is done on the cover, he looks so good on here. Running. Oh, Dreamwave did some really awesome Transformers stuff. So sad that I guess they're not around anymore, and don't get me wrong, IDW does a really good job, but Dreamwave just did these really awesome Transformers comics that when you looked at them, the artwork was just mind-blowing. So yeah, I don't know, it's just really, really nice stuff that they did, and this cover is an example of just a little example of the Dreamwave stuff. This one is really freaking cool, okay? This is when Image Comics were making G.I. Joe. Do you remember when Image Comics were doing that? Yeah, well, there was a time where Image Comics were, before Devil's Due took over G.I. Joe, and then eventually went to IDW. Comic book history, I'm not trying to get into that. Anyways, this is, I believe, a Benitez cover, but this is G.I. Joe, Real American Hero number 12. Really cool looking. I love the Cobra Bat right there, and he's got Roadblock in his hand. It's just so cool looking. And what I really love about the cover is the Cobra Bat. That character is so cool. Like, this is an awesome cover. I don't know, I was flipping through a lot of the G.I. Joes that I had, and especially from Image Comics, and this one really caught my eye. 2 of them caught my eye, and this was one of them that really caught my eye. Oh, it's just so cool. It's really awesome looking. There's a lot going on. It's highly detailed. And again, the Cobra Bat just looks super cool on this cover. We're getting there, don't worry, we're getting there. Back when Marvel Comics did Transformers. Oh, they did Transformers, and I'm trying to collect a lot of those comics nowadays. They also did G.I. Joe as well. But, this is Marvel, More Than Meets the Eyes, the Transformers number 48. The end of Optimus Prime? What a cool cover with Megatron right there, front and center. You know he did something that he wasn't supposed to do, and he's smiling about it, that villainous smile. Oh, Megatron was always up to no good. So was Starscream. But yeah, no, this cover is just really neat looking. It's an older cover from the 80s, if I'm not mistaken, and, well, yeah, obviously the 80s, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it the 80s? Doesn't really say on here. Whatever, all I can tell you is it's issue number 48. And it's a really awesome looking cover. So I'm going to stop talking and just show you guys the cover. You know, I was wrong. It wasn't Image Comics. It was Devil's Due Publishing. So this cover is just so freaking nice. There was no way that I was not going to include this. This is G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, issue number 32 from July, the month Boomer was born in. And this showcases the great Snake himself, Cobra Commander. Oh, this is cool. I love that they made him all in black with the black robe. I mean, I could be wrong. That could not be Cobra Commander, but I'm fairly certain it is Cobra Commander, especially with the mask. That definitely is him. Really cool cover. Cobra Commander in cuffs. Oh, man. Yeah. This is what comic book covers, especially like comic book covers based on the cartoons we grew up with. That's what that shit's all about. Oh, this is awesome. Spoke about Dreamwave earlier with the Optimus Prime cover and the Transformers preview issue. But this really showcases, to me especially, what they could do. This is Dreamwave's Transformers issue number 2. And this... Okay, I'm just going to show you guys. Look at that beautiful cover right there. Another one that if it was Virgin cover, you could put that in display and it may look like a painting. Skywarp, Thundercracker, and Starscream all on one cover. This is so awesome. This has actually got to be, I think, in general when it comes to Transformers in comic books, this is probably my favorite cover. I say that because I'm a huge Starscream fan. Starscream is my favorite Decepticon, second to Soundwave. Oh, they're actually, I would say it's a tie between the two, to be honest, but this is an awesome cover. And shout out to my cousin Andrew. He got me this a long time ago, and it's still in very pristine condition. So, you know, thank you to him for this comic book. And it's been in my collection this whole time, and it's probably, like I said, my absolute favorite Transformers cover. This one is really cool. And again, this is probably my favorite G.I. Joe cover of all time. There's a lot of McFarlane covers out there, but I don't know, this one just... I think this is so cool. Especially out of the modern stuff, this one is really neat for what it is. This is G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero by Marvel Comics in the 25th anniversary, issue number 55. It's titled on the cover, Unmaskings. Boom! That's cool. Snake Eyes, Cobra Commander, Destro, all removing their masks on the cover. This is super cool. This is a comic book that I definitely, like right now, the majority of them are in long boxes, but if I were to frame a G.I. Joe comic book, this would be the one to frame. I love it. I love that they're taking off their masks, but they're not showing, like, they're not fully off, so it's really still that mystery of, ooh, what do they look like? This is a cool comic book cover, and this is, like I said, my favorite G.I. Joe comic book cover. Well, that's it. No, wait. That's not it. I know I usually showcase 8 comic books. This episode is titled G.I. Joe vs. Transformers. I know, like I said, I usually do 8 comics, so I showcased 4 G.I. Joe, 4 Transformers. What else do I have left to show? Well, this cover is, in fact, G.I. Joe vs. Transformers number 1 from Image Comics. You can't have a G.I. Joe vs. Transformers-ish episode without showing a comic book that is based on G.I. Joe vs. Transformers, or Transformers vs. G.I. Joe, the really awesome, obscure Jack Kirby-inspired comic book series from, I think, 2013 or 2014. Honestly, that's one that I have not read, and I really want to check it out. But this is from Image Comics, and I love this cover so much. Snake Eyes in the forefront, and then Optimus Prime. This is an insane cover. Oh boy, this is one that I am actually probably going to frame at some point and put on display. I just love the artwork on this cover. Optimus Prime looks incredible. He looks out of this world on the cover. And even Snake Eyes looks fantastic on this cover. The artwork is just... wow. This is amazing artwork, and it just makes for an amazing cover. And it'd be a perfect comic book cover. And even this set in general to have in any Transformers and G.I. Joe fans collection. There you go. G.I. Joe versus Transformers issue number 1.
Fearing Cobra Commander no longer has the ability to lead, Destro and Dr. Mindbender comb the tombs of the most evil leaders in history, and from their genetic tissues produce a composite clone with the military genius of Napoleon, the ruthlessness of Julius Caesar, the daring of Hannibal, and the cunning of Attila the Hun. Behold the ultimate Cobra Emperor, Serpentor.
Serpentor, the most evil foe of G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe, American hero.
What happens next? Find out in Marvel Comics.
It is a world transformed, where things are not what they seem. It is the world of the Transformers.
Transformers, more than meets the eye. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. Transformers. Robots in disguise. Transformers, more than meets the eye.
The Transformers from Marvel Comics.
That's it for another episode of Great Comic Book Covers. Lo and behold, I will be back again soon for another episode. Might take a little bit, not a long hiatus like last time, but might take a little tiny break from the Great Comic Book Covers. So now I just pumped out 3 in a row. So I got to figure out what other comics that I want to showcase. I might go back to a bit of a smaller format with the next episode. I might do some random comics. So I might go back to doing 4 or 5 comics with that next episode. But as always, I ask you guys, let me know what you thought of these comic books, these covers. Which one was your favorite out of all 9 of them? Again, let me know what you guys want to see. If you have any suggestions for great comic book covers, I'm down for the suggestions. I can see if I have them in my collection, and we can work something out. Not gonna lie to you, this is a mixed bag of covers. Great comic book covers. Episode 8. Welcome back to Great Comic Book Covers. The show where I don't show off, where I showcase not necessarily the greatest comic book covers, but comic book covers I think are really cool, so isn't that the whole premise? Great comic book covers? Okay, I've been doing some themes recently, and today I just want to kick back and do some random covers. Random comic book covers that I thought were really cool, that I just had in my collection. I was like, huh, that would be really neat to show off. So I picked, I think, 8 comic covers here. Really random. It's a mixed bag. Let's get straight into it. First comic book cover I have. This is the first ever comic book, if I'm not mistaken, that he's been featured in. This is RoboCop, The Future of Law Enforcement, #1 from Marvel Comics. I just like that I just like that it's RoboCop. That's all. What more can I say? It's RoboCop, it's cool, it's a great cover. That's pretty much it. This next cover is a more recent one. I just love it because of how it looks with the embossment, and then it's a Greg Capullo cover. We have the final, if I'm not mistaken, this is the final issue as well. Dark Knight's Death Metal #7. I love that look. It's just nice. The Dark Knight's Death Metal Wonder Woman with the classic Wonder Woman. There are so many nice Dark Knight's Metal and Death Metal covers, but I chose this one. Don't get me wrong, I'll probably choose more in the future, but I chose this one for now because this one really stands out. It's really beautiful. This one is Andres' favorite superhero, and I only know of him because of Andres, but this is really a really cool cover as well. I really like this one. This is Nexus #16. Really cool looking cover. I like that a lot. I just love that it's semi sketched basically and semi inked. It just makes for a really cool cover to put up on display. I really like that a lot. This one's a re-release from Image Comics, but nonetheless they kept the same covers, which I'm really happy. I never got around to the Image Comics ones, so I was able to get this from Udon and Capcom. This is Street Fighter Reloaded #3. Really badass cover. Akuma, Ken, Ryu, Chun-Li, Guile, Vega, all on one cover. That's balls to the walls amazing. Street Fighter 2 is my favorite fighting game of all time. That, and after that it's Mortal Kombat. But anytime I see something of Street Fighter, I'm like, ooh, that's really neat. I saw that they're putting out the Ninja Turtles and Street Fighter 2-pack figures. I think I'm going to have to spend some cash on those. But yeah, here we go. Street Fighter Reloaded #3. What makes this one great is the fact that it's an Alex Ross cover, and it's also my one of my two favorite superheroes. So this one here is The Amazing Spider-Man #2. That's an Alex Ross cover. It's so beautiful. I love how Spider-Man's in the pose with all the webs. It just screams Alex Ross. Like, let's be honest here. This is, I think, also a comic that Vanessa picked up for me. Really happy to have this in my collection. Yeah, it's just really nice looking. The detail is nice. You can always count on Alex Ross to put out a really nice comic book cover. The reason why I thought this one was really nice was because, well, first of all, this is Jim Lee. It's Image Comics before they went over to DC, and I love this comic, but this cover here itself is just really cool. We got issue #5 of Wildcats. I love how the whole team is there. The whole team is on the cover. So that just looks really cool. And you know what? Jim Lee's Wildcats was one of those comics that, yeah, it was one of those books that even when I was young reading Spawn, this is another one that I tried to pick up as well. And again, Grifter, they're coming out with a figure of Grifter, so I think I'm going to have to pick that one up too. But yeah, Wildcats #5, what an awesome cover. This one here is issue #393 of The Incredible Hulk, the special 30th anniversary issue. Throwback to one of the originals. Here you got Bruce Banner turning into Professor Hulk. It's a cool gimmick cover, foil embossed. I'm a big fan of Hulk. He's a great character, and I can't wait for She-Hulk. Can't wait for She-Hulk to get here. That's a really cool cover. I mean, there's nothing really much that I can say about it. It's really awesome looking. Today's last cover is, this was given to me as a birthday present in a set. This is from Zombie Tramp Origins. This is #4. This is a special limited variant edition. So yeah, Zombie Tramp Origins #4. That's a really nice looking cover. The logo is foil embossed right there, and then just the way that Janie is painted on the cover, it's really nice looking. Yeah, there's a lot of Zombie Tramp covers that I'm like, well, I mean, but this one's really, really nice. I had to include it on this episode. I'm actually going to be doing an episode of Zombie Tramp covers, so that's going to be in the near future. But this is the last one for today. Zombie Tramp Origins #4.
DC. Comics. Incredible. Action. Astonishing. Adventure. The coolest heroes. The bravest heroines. And the most outrageous villain. Too tough for TV. In the universe. DC Comics. Read them and love them.
So that's it for today's episode of Great Comic Book Covers. Let me know down below which comic cover you thought was the nicest out of all 8 of these. Let me know if you're enjoying the show. I'm not trying to pump out that many at the time because I don't want you guys to get annoyed of it. But I try to pump them out every so often because I do still have people say, oh, when are we going to see more comic book covers? So I'm trying to do that for you guys. Let me know, like I said, down below which comic book cover you thought was the coolest. The next episode that I do is probably going to be another mixed bag as well. Actually, it is going to be a mixed bag because I already have those covers selected.
DC. Comics. Incredible. Action. Astonishing. Adventure. The coolest heroes. The bravest heroines. and the most outrageous villains. Too tough for TV in the universe. DC Comics. Read them and love them.
Look, I know you got Greg Capullo back on the book, but doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be great. Oh, hey guys. I was reading a book that's not that great, but this cover is really awesome. Just like the cover we looked at in the intro. Both Greg Capullo covers. That was a lot of fun. A nice marathon of great comic book covers. And I cannot wait to make more episodes of great comic book covers for you guys. Like I said, the next episode will be Conan comic book covers, so stay tuned for that. And also, you guys can let me know in the comments what you guys want to see. And I'll be putting up polls. Conan was something I want to do, but I'll be putting up polls here on my channel asking you guys what great comic book cover episodes you would like to see. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching this marathon in its entirety with me. If you did, I really appreciate that. That being said, if you are new to my channel because you do like comic book content, you like marathon videos, or if you've been watching my channel for the longest time and you haven't done so already, please and thank you, subscribe to my channel. Also, click the bell notification. If you like this marathon, you like my videos, you're liking my content that I'm putting up, let the algorithm know. Click that thumbs up button. And also, share the video, guys. Share the video with comic book lovers alike. Get out of here for today. Go enjoy your Saturday. I'm going to go get out of here. I'm going to go read some more comic books. I'm going to go prepare for the next episode of Great Comic Book Covers. I will see you in the next episode of Great Comic Book Covers. Stay cool, stay nerdy, keep reading those great comic books. And as always, guys, may not be a key issue, may not be the best looking cover, but it is a great comic book cover nonetheless. Later, guys.